Hi, I'm Samuel from OpenSignal. We create crowdsourced maps of carrier coverage based on users of our Android app, coming soon to iOS.
I'm Ian Brown, I'm the CEO of Axel Wireless.
My name is Simon, I'm a Managing Director of a Welsh company.
I'm Rupert Baines, I'm the Vice President of Marketing.
Hi, my name is Richard Doughty. I work with Cerulean Technologies and we're a UK-based provider of business support systems.
Hello everybody, my name is Orazio Corba, I'm Product Marketing Manager for Sony Mobile and taking charge of two markets, Latin markets in Europe, Spain and Italy.
So this right here is a map about the development and the global rollout of LTE. So the countries in light blue are the countries that currently have LTE. The countries in the slightly lighter blue are currently developing it, and the countries in the darkest blue have it kind of planned but not really on the way. So if I press play here, we can see that over time you can see how the countries with LTE are rising up. You can see the US coming in, Australia, Brazil. Great, that's done. Now our system also allows us to track information by country and by network. So I will just take you down here. This is a graph about average LTE speeds in countries. So for instance, you can see Sweden has the world's fastest average LTE speed and Japan the slowest, with the US also surprisingly low at 9.6. Breaking it down by network, click on Sweden and you see the difference in network speeds. So there is actually quite a serious difference between competing networks. The biggest surprise perhaps is the USA, which is brought down by Metro PCS at only 1.2 megabits per second. This is actually because Metro PCS rolled out a different version of LTE earlier on and often use lower end devices, which slows everything down.
I mean, it's interesting, I think, what's going to happen over the next few years. You know, especially in, for example, the broadcast industry. I think that the mobile device will become the predominant device that people start to watch TV programs and films and so forth on. So you'll move from a model there, I think, of having sort of one-to-many kind of broadcast to one-to-one. So people will be absolutely watching what they want to watch, when they want to watch it, on the device that they want to watch. And LTE is just going to make that ability a lot more real for a lot of people.
One of the challenges which fourth generation networks, LTE or 4G, have faced, are facing and maybe will face, comes mainly from the regulators. So take the UK as an example. The rollout of 3G was hindered and restricted by the amount of money the networks had to invest in purely the licenses. With the recent sale of next generation spectrum in the UK having come in dramatically lower, this reserves and preserves capital to invest in the actual deployment of those networks. So I think the regulators and the government's reduction in their expectations of cost will benefit consumers in the end run.
There is a weak point because the LTE coverage is something that it's in charge of, especially over the operators. So we are waiting, let me say, in order that this kind of coverage is really huge, is really good. But of course, in terms of consumer, as we have already talked about that, the consumer wants to have the same experience in mobility, the same experience that actually the consumer has at their own home. So high powerful device, high speed connectivity. That is the direction. Of course, we have to offer a good and strong device, and the operator has to offer good, strong network.
The operator will deploy, so it makes the network work. And the network works then much faster, much better. So everyone who's got a handset will benefit from this improvement.
In the US, in the last 6 months basically, you'll find companies like Verizon, all their demand now is going through, or the bulk of their demand is going through the LTE network. So within 6 months, there's been a transformation from no LTE traffic to the dominance of LTE traffic.
Right, this graph here measures LTE speeds versus other technologies. So you can see that 4G LTE is 7 times faster than 3G. And early reports that we've had indicate that actually that really does correspond with a huge increase in consumption. People really are using a lot more data because the speeds are faster. So yeah, expect to see a lot more mobile traffic. By about 2015, we think there'll be more mobile traffic accessing the web than computer traffic, and you can see that the average Wi-Fi speed is a lot slower.